I'm John Cadillac Seville from iHeartRadio over here at Guilford Cable TV in downtown Guilford, and it's really my pleasure to talk to a buddy of mine that I met over at the gym. I think it was Planet Fitness.
Oh, yes, it was.
Just about 10 years ago, and you were out there, and I really admired your energy. You're out there rocking around, talking to people, just sharing your love of people, and always trying to uplift, and that really appealed to me because that's kind of how I live my life. But he goes by the name Thomas the Handler. So Thomas, tell us a little bit about you, your story, and how we got to where we are today.
Well, sure. Johnny, Cadillac Seville, man, it's so awesome.
Good to see you, brother.
Great to see you and to be here with you today. Yeah. I remember that day very, very, very well. I remember I came up to you. I was pumped up. You were pumped up. We were at Planet Fitness in Britain.
In Brantford, yeah.
And, well, he said, we're the ones that are going to get it done. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we both stood powerful in that gym in Planet Fitness. And, well, now we both sit powerful here. Conversing about, my life and how we have dedicated ours to helping others.
Exactly.
And it is amazing having a gift to give, right? And I wish more people would do the same, right? To give with all their heart.
And tell me a little bit about this. I mean, where did this all start? I know you started off in IT. You've been doing there for a long, long time, and the skills are really helping you doing what you're doing right now. But why? What is your reason for getting out there and wanting to help people, and how exactly are you doing it?
So it all started for me back in 2012, right? And I remember when we sat in your office, we talked about the synchronicity of numbers like 1111 and 555, all the different numbers. And
I was thinking at the time, this is way above my pay grade. But you were able to explain it in layman terms, which is great.
Absolutely. I mean, if you were to look up those numbers, you would see the signs of the angels. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what it started for me back in 2012. And then, what I learned along the way is that God had reached into my body and in my soul and had woken up my spirit, right? And we all have a spirit inside and we believe too, and we all pray for something higher than ourselves,
yes.
God. And well, what I found is that right from the beginning, God chose me to enlighten and brighten people's days.
And basically, I found myself doing that in many, many ways too, asking him to, what am I here for? How can I best serve you? You and I have had conversations about this before. I mean, some people call it God, some people call it the universe.
Sure.
I call it God. But whatever you choose, we respect that. But again, what really made you want to kind of leave the IT world, so to speak, even though you were still using it to help navigate what you do and get the word out? But why? What was that big inner I heard it from God, this is what I need to do? When did that really happen?
Well, man, just to understand this, I was been doing IT up until recently as well. I mean,
right.
Because here's the thing is you got to stay sharp. I mean, I've been doing system engineering and variations of it, IT engineering classes.
And that helps you really get the word out on all different platforms.
It does. And then of course now I'm trained in different cloud technologies and then of course being on every social media platform, that technology background has really plugged me in and well as an engineer, I believe in paying attention to detail, right? And when you pay attention to detail, well, you have the ability to learn so much, right? It's like, for instance, like if we're going to have a conversation, well, I'm going to listen to the details, right? And because I'm hoping to provide similar details. And then through that conversation, we know we both are listening and we know that we're going to figure something out, resolve a problem or have a great conversation because, or even a great story, right? Because
I learned a long time ago, facts tell, but stories sell. People love to hear stories.
They do.
And we talked, off air about this too before. There's so many problems in the world today. People are looking for solutions. And I see you all over social media. I used to see you at the gym. You'd talk to everybody coming in. You'd have a kind word to say to people. We need that more. We've become very, very angry, I think, even over the past couple of years since COVID, especially. Mm-hmm. And I think people are looking for someone just to give them a smile and say something kind. And you're doing that all over social media.
And I am. I do it through words, man. I post a beautiful poem every day, And
you send them to me, which I appreciate.
Right, send them to you, and I put a nice, great illustration with it. And as an engineer, I'm always thinking, an analytical thinker, right? And I like to call it, through my book, Discovering Inner Light.
Yes.
Intuitionally.
You should get that book. You put it up there so people can see it.
Discovering Your Inner Light, is the book I wrote, and basically it's a book on how to grow your intuition or strengthen the connection between your spirit and God, Yahweh. So now, and through that, right, through writing the book and strengthening my own connection and I have and my analytical side, so I'm always thinking, working with my spirit and my own mind to find the next best way to promote self and society. How can we fix things? How can I reach people? Because the number one problem with society's problems and everything going on are people, right? So, you have to be a people person. And in order to be a people person, you have to love everyone.
Right. That's not easy for a lot of people.
It's not.
Especially here in New England, with a lot of Connecticut Yankees and folks that are a little bit like, kind of stay away a little bit. And I know you and I, very similar people. I love people.
Sure.
And I know there are people at the gym that say all the time, I'm not really a people person. I prefer animals, that type of thing. And you kind of agree with them there. But I think, people inside, they really want to be appreciated.
They do.
I think everybody, no matter who they may be, wants to be loved.
Some people that don't even know they want love. They are going after all these other directions that end up being darker or hateful, right?
Right.
They're like, because all they want is love. And
well, they use a lot of that as a defense mechanism too.
Yeah.
So many people do that. They're just as a protection device. They don't want to be rejected or hurt. But if they put themselves out there, they feel vulnerable.
Well, I talk about in my book layers, right? So you build up all these layers, and people now are creating fake social media profiles, right? So and in my book I talk about how you need to start taking them layers away, right? Because the thing about it is your karma is your own actions. Your way of being is a judgment you put on yourself, right? So if you look at yourself in the mirror and say, "This is the type of person I am," well, that is the type of person you are.
Right.
Life is a state of mind. You believe what you say to yourself.
I totally agree with it. Words mean things.
They do.
So when I hear people say, well, I can't afford this, I say, hey, how can you afford this?
Right.
Or, oh, I have to go to work. No, you get to go to work. And it changes their whole perspective. So I know when I wake up every day, I expect to have a good day.
Exactly.
Does it always work out that way? No. But I'm going to expect to have a good day and go out there in the world with a smile and live my life that way. And people usually respond in kind to that. I know you do that as well.
Sure. I mean, the thing about it is like I'll set a plan for the day because I always have a lot of tasks to accomplish and goals, as I call them, right? You have your short-term and your long-term goals.
Yes.
But those short-term goals could be as my tasks of the day, and I'm going to set forth and try to get them done. And if something doesn't go in the order because I got paused because, well, maybe God said, I don't want you to do that today. Maybe it's time for you to just stop and smell the roses.
Yes.
To enjoy this part of life, because if you rush through life, focused entirely on your tasks, you're missing life.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'll say to people, take 5 minutes a day. At least 5 minutes a day. Start there and just be quiet. Just unlock, from whatever you're doing and just be quiet. And it's amazing. Some people, though, are afraid to get quiet with their thoughts.
They are. I've heard people call the spirit inside your inner critic. And I'm like, well, I guess that's one way of looking at it. I think that's more of a negative way of looking at it. But here's the thing is this. If you got something inside telling you you're not doing right,
yeah.
Well, then I'm going to say, start doing right. I mean, simply put, right, your spirit inside, will determine your life, and how you go about it and whether you listen to it. Because if you sit idle while your spirit's saying, get up, go do something, well, you're choosing that.
I know 75% of thoughts they say that come into your mind, especially first thing in the morning, are negative. And that's why we just have to replace it all the time. And I always replace that negative with a positive. And it's not easy. It's something you have to work at. You have to be proactive.
You do. So like now, for instance, I do martial arts. I do Krav Maga. We're at Soulcraft Martial Arts in Hampton, a great place.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll do a lot of MMA videos out there.
Right.
But
that's great for mind.
As well.
Because I took the martial arts for a while, too, French foot fighting back in the day.
Nice.
And it really is mind. We are what we think, and it gives you that certain peace, the martial arts.
It does, and when you're throwing a punch or an
Mhm.
elbow, right?
Yes.
You learn those moves over time, and then it's muscle memory,
Mm-hmm.
right? Same thing with your mind. When you say positive things every day, when you wake up and say, I'm a great person and I'm going to go have an awesome day.
Right.
Well, and you start doing that every day. Well, you start becoming that way.
And it's not egocentric.
No, it's
I don't
not.
think so. There's too many people out there in the world against you.
Sure.
There's too many people out there that are saying negative things. You've got to be on your own side. You've got to be your biggest fan.
You do.
So when you look in the mirror, it's like, my wife will get up in the morning and say, man, you a hot-looking mama, whatever. And I love it. I love when she does that. I like that confidence factor.
So,
And it just, I think we really need to have that positive self-image. And the more we say it over and over again, like you said, the more we believe it.
right. And the thing is, you are your own salesperson,
Right.
So you need to sell yourself on yourself.
That's right.
Then you can sell yourself on others. But
How's anybody else going to follow if you don't believe in yourself?
exactly, right? And then when you put out that positive message, because now you're saying, I love myself and I believe in myself and I'm strong and I'm powerful and I can do anything that I put my mind to.
That's right.
Well, then you're going to emanate that out, and then people are going to be like, why is he so powerful? Why is he so confident? And they're going to, that's what positive, negative. That's
People are attracted to that.
Attracted to that. And
Yes.
they're like, I want to learn. I was at Waterbury last night speaking to him, met another friend, and he was like, he got my number, followed me on social media, subscribed to my channel. He said, I want to learn from you personally. He said,
How can people subscribe to your channel, by the way? They're just tuning in right now. Just in case you're tuning in, got my buddy Thomas the Handler right here. And this guy's got so much energy. And he's just really a lot of fun to be around, putting a lot of positive out there, which we all need. But how do people get in contact with you?
Sure. So I have an organization called Magnetic Movement, and we have a YouTube channel. It is Magnetic Movement, one word, no space. So this way you can just Google that or YouTube that and search and subscribe. We want subscribers. I make content out there. I have become a content creator. I'm a YouTuber now. Here's the thing: this is my third YouTube channel. I have tried
3 of them.
3. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing: is that third time's a charm.
Right. That's right. I've heard that many times.
Well, when I first came out, before I wrote the book, I represented myself as Tom.
How long ago you write that book?
2021.
Really?
Yeah, 2021.
Where can people get that book?
So this book is, my publisher is Balboa Press, and you'll see a link in every one of my posts. But you can also just Google "Discovering Your Inner Light" and you'll find it. It's available online at all the different bookstores, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all the different places that
That's
where you
great,
buy your books.
Yeah.
The thing is we can do and be so much more, and at the Magnetic Movement, I want you to come together, and I don't want you to just subscribe to the channel. I want you to be a part of the organization. Now, Thomas Killstrom and my social media platform, that's how I represent myself on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, Reddit and X. I mean, I'm on all the platforms. I post every single day.
That's a smart move.
Right. But Magnetic Movement was created for us. Right now, I have created it as a pay it forward YouTube channel, right? And what I do with that is what's a new concept, right? Because when you create a movement, that it's not about this.
Right.
It's about how we can create a better future for us and our children.
Yes.
Right. And it's like, well, we're getting together because we have a common goal and we believe in that common goal and we're going to accomplish it. Right.
Yeah.
And the way you accomplish it is by, making friends and getting more people to join. And that common goal is us thriving in our world, in our United States of America. I mean, in our towns and our cities. But the only way you're ever going to thrive is if you get involved.
Right.
And that's what I stand for. So I'm going to
Get up off the couch and do something, right? Is this
right. So now through the Pay It Forward YouTube channel, since I have so many skills in IT, I share out my skills for you to by putting you out on every platform. I will promote your business, right? And I'm not looking for anything in return, but for you to then pay it forward with the skills that you have inside you. Because there's the thing is, money goes so far, but when you make it not about money and you make it about, what passion, what power, what skills do you have in your soul and your mind, and how can you actually use that to contribute to the betterment of our society?
Sure.
right? So whether it is you go ahead and, well, I'm a restaurant and, well, I'm going to give a bunch of people some free lunches, whether it's the homeless, whether it's the veterans, just do something for somebody else.
And that restaurant's going to benefit. I mean, they need to pay their bills and take care of their family. There's nothing wrong with people having the finances and the money and living a good life. But at the same time, you're right. I think we have a responsibility to go out there and help our neighbors.
We do.
And people there that are less fortunate and having a tough time. Because let's face it, that could be any of us.
At any point in time.
Any point. I think what they say, like the average person is maybe 5 or 6 months away from being homeless.
Sure.
In this country, the United States of America, it's really kind of scary.
Do you know how many people had to change jobs or lost their businesses just because of COVID?
Oh, sure.
I mean, I met so many people. I met a gentleman out of Meriden, right? He was making 3 times the amount of money as a bartender. Mm-hmm. Well, now he's working 3 times the amount of hours, making a third.
Right.
Making only a third of that. He's now a mailman.
Yeah.
But at any point in time, you may think you're up here above someone,
right,
and you're below. So you're like, I'm not going to hand out to you right now. But now all of a sudden, you got your hand out.
Right.
Right. But here's the thing: is we all need money to survive in this world. But how do you fix something when everybody's always chasing greed? Mm-hmm. How are you going to fix it if everybody's like, well, what are you going to do for me? I'm like, no. I'm going to say it like this. What are you going to do for the next person down the line? Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about buying them a cup of coffee. I'm talking about doing something way bigger.
Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing: is that is just only one aspect of the magnetic movement. The underlaying message is awareness. Mm-hmm. Knowledge is power.
Yes, it is.
And I want to provide. I have a lot of knowledge, and I want to share it with you. And what you do with that knowledge once I provide it, well, who is in your address book, right?
Yes.
Now I try.
It's all about the domino effect. Who can I help? Who can I help?
Who can I help?
I say everything is based on motive and intent.
Sure.
If your motive and intent is to go out there and bless other people and help them, you will be blessed.
Mm-hmm. Yes. One of my creative ways is of trying to reach people, because as you know, I write these poems and so every so often I'll go through my address book and I'll find a good poem and I'll send it, as well as I'll have a nice little motivational, inspirational write up with a whole bunch of cool emojis, and
that really means a lot to a lot of people. That can make their day.
And that's what I'm saying is, out there to everyone. Yeah. When is the last time you opened up your phone and went through your address book and said something nice to somebody else, somebody you haven't talked to in a long time? Let's go ahead, send out 100 messages or 1,000, whatever you got. Just some word. Happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, or just something. I hope you're having a wonderful life.
And there's a lot of people out there hurting. You see it all over social media. And if you do take that time to reach out and say, hey, listen, I was just thinking about you. You know how good that feels when somebody says, Tom, I was just thinking about you.
Yes.
Hope you have a great day. Or I heard that this happened to you. Congratulations on that event you had in Waterbury last night. Or, I heard that you, had a little bit of a scuff that time. You fell down, you hurt your knee, or whatever it may be. I hope everything's okay.
Sure.
A little something like that. What's it take? 5, 10, 15 seconds? Everybody's attached to their phone. Everybody.
If you already got this device in your hand, and you're sitting there watching a video or whatever you're doing, take a minute. Because here's the thing: is this, if you got some great information to share, which I do, I share lots of information.
I know you.
Then if I give it to you, and you should give it to everyone else. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, it's networking 101. You start making all these connections and you just, all you have to do, it's the simplest thing is start with a positive message. Give people what they need. That's why I go by the handler. Was it Matthew 4:19? Jesus said, I saith unto them, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. Mm-hmm. And basically what's that saying is just, go out and meet everyone, learn what people need, relate to them, and become friends. It's not that you're handling them, but you are. You're giving them exactly what they need. And mm-hmm. Some people just need a positive message. Some people need a patriotic message.
Right. Yep.
Some people, all they got is I'm tired. So maybe you can talk about pizza, New Haven pizza.
Sure.
Because, first you got to make that friend.
Right.
Once you make a friend and you listen, then all of a sudden you have, a conversation, that's going to evolve,
Yes.
right? And then as you're listening, you just drop a couple words here and there, and how they respond to it is like, okay, well, I know that when I talk politics, he's going far left or far right, and he's got to stop thinking it. It's like the left and the right wing are part of the same bird. So
That's right. Exactly.
so why are we fighting?
We're all human. We're all human.
But point being is how far do you go with sharing information? Because if you go too far, well, then you just shut somebody down.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say I'm inevitable because I always come back around.
Right.
I don't, what did it say? Jesus said, I'm not going to let that one sheep go. Well, I always come back for that one sheep.
Oh, that's right. He'll leave the 99 to go out and find that one.
That's right.
It's it really is amazing. But in case you're just tuning in, once again, I've got Thomas the Handler right here, and Discover Your Inner Light, a book that he wrote, I think 3 years ago or so.
Yeah.
It's available on Amazon, and it's all about just basically going out there and just spreading the love. I mean, it sounds kind of kumbaya, it sounds kind of cliche, but yeah, it really is needed nowadays more than ever. I think people need to know that you appreciate them, that you care, and a kind word can go a long, long way. But Tom, this has been fantastic. I know we're going to be doing something else in the future, again, and I just really, really appreciate what you're putting out there. I appreciate the poems and the positive vibes you send out to me first thing every morning. It helps set my tone.
That's awesome.
And we need more people like you that are going out there that are not afraid to put themselves out there.
Yeah, and something. That's the coolest thing about my book, Discovering Your Inner Light, is it's going to teach you on how to be bold and fearless to where, like, something, I will walk with purpose, and I will go out there and spread a beautiful message and whatever you need to hear because God has asked me,
Right.
and when God chooses you to do something, well, are you going to say no?
Right. The point is you can't be concerned about how people are going to respond.
No, you can't.
I mean, Jesus was rejected more than any person who ever walked the planet. So if people are not ready for the message, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just meet people where they're at, respect where they're at, and people will come around when they're ready. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will arrive. That's one of my favorite sayings ever. When the student is ready, the teacher will arrive. So just adapt to them.
Well, and one of the nice things is that I'll talk about, and because I've been doing this for 12 years now, what I have learned is that meant to be, things happen for a reason. I'll turn out of my house and I'll run right into the torch run. Things just happen. They just lay in front of you, but it takes time to get in that sync where the universe is going to just lay it in front of you, or God's going to lay it right in front of you. But that's what I have learned.
Look for the opportunities. Be actively looking. That's
always.
That's the key. Actively looking for opportunities to be good to people, and it will be presented. God will present those opportunities.
And what I want to say is always look everyone in the eye.
Yes.
Shake their hand.
Yeah.
And live a life of integrity.
That's right. Exactly. Well, thank you so much. Matt over at Guilford Cable TV has been a big, big help, the production guy behind the scenes. And Tom, it's always great seeing you.
You as well.
Thomas the Handler. I'm John Cadillac Seville from iHeartRadio. Just go out there and own it. Make it a great day.